Welcome back to BeautiCo. I am Maisha. Welcome back to my channel. So today in this video, I'm going to be sharing a few makeup mistakes that I have seen people doing whenever they do their makeup. Like I came across a lot of girls who were getting ready for a party or for a wedding. Like they used to get ready with me and I used to see that there are a lot of mistakes that they do. So I wanted to make a video on what you should be doing exactly when you're applying your makeup so that you avoid your makeup from looking cakey or not lasting long or applying just too much product in general. So without further ado, let's get started. First thing that I want to emphasize on is a skin prep. Skin prep does not mean that you apply loads of moisturizer, loads of skincare product before you go in with makeup. That is going to make your makeup slip and slide. So you want very thin layers, minimum amount of products to prep your skin. So all you need to do after you wash your face is apply a moisturizer which is like water based. I would suggest a water based moisturizer or any moisturizer that suits your skin, but it should be very lightweight and not thick and goopy. So I am going to be using the Simple's Hydrating Gel Cream. Now this is very water like and just gives me enough hydration and makes my skin plump. And also if I do end up having dry patches, it just hydrates it, and then I can go ahead and apply my makeup which will not cling to those dry patches. So I just applied like a very thin layer of this particular cream. As you can see, it literally got completely absorbed into my skin very quickly, but it did give me enough hydration and made my skin very smooth and plump. I also want to show you when you apply too much of a skincare product. I'm just going to show that on this side, on my left hand side. If you apply too much moisturizer or too much skincare, your skin looks juicy, but it's just sitting on top of your skin, and then when you apply your foundation and everything, it's just gonna feel very slippery and you will feel like it's not staying in place throughout the day. It's just gonna slip and slide and cake up and bunch up. So you need to apply a very thin layer of moisturizer, and then I would apply a good SPF which is very thin in formula and very serum like, not thick and goopy. This one is from inde, which I've been using currently. This is the AM Sunscreen Glow Drops. It has SPF 50. It is very light on the skin and it's not thick feeling and does not leave a white cast. So like I just apply a little bit of this. And that's about it for skincare. And then you also need to prep your lips. If you have cracked, dry lips, definitely apply a lip balm. I've already done that. So yeah, those were the steps for skin prep. Next step is applying primer. Now, I never miss this step because I have large pores and I have oily skin. But if you have smooth skin, you do not have a problem of excessive oil, or you don't have that problem of larger pores, you can totally skip primer. But for oily skin and people with large pores, I would definitely recommend applying a primer before you go in with your foundation. So I am going to be using the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. Now, this is a very liquidy, thin primer, just helps in filling in my pores and blurring out my skin and just in general keeping my oils at bay. So this is one of my absolute favorite primers. I've been loving this one currently. I was using the e.l.f. Universal Putty Primer, but I feel this one is a better option because it's more lightweight and liquidy in formula. So I just focus this right on my T-zone right here. That's where I have larger pores and that's where I get oily the most. Around my mouth, near my smile lines, my chin and my forehead. I literally took very less amount of primer. You don't need to go ahead and take like heaps of product. Like this is a lot of primer. You literally need a pea-size amount when you are applying a primer. Next up is foundation. Firstly, try to choose a foundation shade that is very, very close to your skin tone. Don't go for a foundation which is going to make you look a little bit fairer because that's going to look very unnatural and you will look like a ghost and you will look like you're wearing makeup. So try and match your foundation shade correctly. And when it comes to skin type, if you are like a dry skin, try using a hydrating foundation. If you are an oily skin, try using a soft matte foundation. And if you're a normal skin type, you can use either of those because anything is going to suit you. So you are blessed. But I'm an oily skin, so today I am going to be using the KIRO's Daily Dew Serum Foundation. I have been loving this foundation currently because it is the most beautiful medium to full coverage foundation, has a beautiful natural finish. I won't say it's completely matte. I won't say it's very hydrating. It's right in the center, which looks super natural. So now, the mistake that people do is apply lots of foundation. You literally don't need a lot of foundation on your face to cover and even out your skin tone. What you could do is just apply a couple of dots, try to spread it with your brush, and then see if you need more. So I'm going to first show you when people apply too much foundation, what it looks like. And I'm going to show you the brush that I absolutely love using. This is the Pack 291 brush, if I'm not wrong. Actually, I've been using this for such a long time, so it's rubbed off. So a lot of people, what they do is just dip their brush in that foundation and then just start applying it in a very thick layer. So you can see already like it's looking very, very thick. And I have applied more than I need. Okay, and then what we end up doing is just to cover up this imperfection that I have right here, they will go ahead and apply another layer on that without already blending out what they've applied. And then again, I'm going to take a little bit more. Even though I have a lot on my brush, I am going to use a very like thick layer on my forehead as well. Just, they want to cover up. Some people have a lot of darkness here. So to cover it up, they end up taking a lot of foundation and it just looks super heavy. Like for me, I feel like this is a lot of foundation and I can literally see the foundation on my skin right now. I'm going to show you an exact way. I'm just going to remove all the foundation from the brush. And what I'll do is I'll just take a little bit with my fingers itself. I will just dot a little bit right here and then just spread how much I've applied. This is like literally nothing that I've applied, but that much is more than enough to cover half of my face, at least in this area. And as you can see, my skin, it has covered everything, but it still looks so flawless and so skin-like. I literally didn't need too much. I'm just going to apply a little bit. That's about it on my forehead. You want the least amount of foundation on your forehead. And I'm just going to spread it out. And that's about it. And right now I can literally feel like I'm wearing nothing on the side of my face, but on this side it feels very heavy. So this is the difference. You need to apply very little amount of foundation. Next, let's talk about applying concealer. Now, concealers are meant to hide your dark circles, some spots, some pigmentation. So you need a very little amount of concealer because concealers are more pigmented than a foundation. They have more coverage than a foundation. So you just need a little bit of it. Otherwise, it will end up looking a lot more heavier. You literally need pea-size amount of concealers to conceal dark circles and spots. But I'm going to show you the mistake side first. So for concealer, I'm using my PAC's Take Cover Concealer and the shade is Caramel Touch. Now, this particular shade is a touch lighter than my skin tone. So you can use a concealer which is exactly the same shade as your skin tone, or just one shade lighter to just brighten up your under eyes. But the lighter shade cannot be used to hide your dark spots and pigmentation. For that, you need to use a concealer which is exactly the same shade of your skin tone. So this one is from K Beauty in the shade 140Y medium, which is exactly the same shade of my skin tone. So first, I'm going to show you how to cover up dark circles and how people do it and how I used to do it before. So what we used to do is, and what a lot of people do is apply like a lot of concealer just like that to cover up dark circles. Like that is a lot. I'm using my PAC 272 brush and now I'm just gonna blend this out. And I'm going to show you how heavy this looks. Now, this PAX concealer is already a very natural looking medium coverage concealer and very thin in formula, but yet this is going to end up looking very thick and heavy. Just looking at it, you will feel like, okay, it has covered my dark circles beautifully. But when I look at myself closely in the mirror, I know that this concealer is going to settle in my crease lines under my eyes, and it's not going to make me look healthier or younger. It's just going to make me look older. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take this concealer and I'm just going to apply a little bit right here and just a little bit right here. And that's all I will need to cover up my dark circles. And then using the same brush, I'm just going to stamp and push this concealer under my eyes and blend it out upwards. And literally, that's all I need. So in comparison, you can see that this side looks way more natural and this side looks very full coverage, and you can't really see my skin. And in the mirror, I can literally see the foundation sitting on top of my skin, even my concealer just sitting on top of my skin. So you need to avoid that. Next, let's talk about one of the most difficult parts about doing makeup, that is applying cream contour and just snatching up your face and giving a shape to your face. That can be a little tricky. So for that, I'm actually going to use my Fenty Beauty's matte stick in the shade Mocha. Now, when it comes to cream contour, you want to make sure that you're using a shade which is a cool and warm tone mix so that it can give you the shape and also can add the warmth. So this one from Fenty Beauty is amazing. So now I'm going to show you how exactly people apply their contour. So people think that you need to contour right here to give that shape because that's what we've seen. And they end up applying it too low right here and go directly with the stick itself, which can be very hard to blend. And also what they do is apply a lot on their forehead right here. So this is how they apply, and then just on the jawline. This is just for demonstration purposes that I'm showing you. And this is a lot of product to blend, honestly. You don't need so much. Then when it comes to blending, I'm using my Nika's contour brush to blend this out. They will blend it right in place and just get it lower, because while blending this, it definitely gets a little lower, as you can see. And that's not the shape that we are looking for. And again, as you can see, it gets very hard to blend out this product once you go directly with the stick on your face. And you end up applying quite a lot, which cannot be rectified. If you have to rectify it, you'll end up applying more foundation and concealer to correct this, which is another added layer which we don't want to do. So as you can see, now this has not given me the most flattering shape. You can see that my face looks a little drooped down. So that's not the way you apply your contour. So I'm going to show you exactly a very simple way to apply your cream contour for any face shape. Firstly, you want to figure out where your cheekbone is, like the hollows of your cheekbone is. So if you can't see it visibly, what you can do is take it from the end of your ear towards the end of your mouth. So this is your contour line, or you can see the depth right here. That's my contour line. So what I will do is I will take this product and I will take it on my brush like that. Okay. And I will place it. So this is the end of my ear. I will place it above and I will just blend it in that section right from my hairline and then get it a little ahead. You see, I'm not getting it too far ahead. You want to keep it right where the end of your eye is. You don't want to get your contour too ahead. So that will keep your features lifted. And I will just take a little bit more if I feel like I need more and just stamp it right there. So basically, I'm not going below my ear line. I am blending the contour up, as you can see. Now, if you're a round face like me, you can apply your cream contour right here at the edges to give you a more sleeker look. And if you have a more elongated face, you can apply your cream contour on your forehead to give you that shorter forehead look. So basically, you're applying your cream contour wherever you want to cancel out the space that you have on your face. So I have a rounder face and I want a more elongated face. So that's why I'm going to apply it right at the perimeters right here. And that's the amount of product that I need. And I'm not getting it too far ahead. I'm keeping it right here. And then, of course, I'm going to chisel out my jawline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it right on the jawbone right here. As you can see, not down, not too high, just on the jawbone. And that will end up defining my jawbone a little bit. And also right here, because I want this shape, as you can see. So technically it's a 3, but it's a very natural 3. It's not very heavy. Okay, the same applies to cream blushes. Now on Instagram, everyone dots their blush on their face and then they blend it out. Even I do that, but we know how much product to apply and how to blend it to make it look more natural. But sometimes even we go overboard. So it's better that you apply your cream blush first on your hand, take it on the brush, and then apply it on the cheeks. So I'm going to show you, like, if you dot it, there is a high possibility that you're applying too much cream blush. So this one is the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush in the shade Suave Mauve. This is one of my favorite cream blushes and I love the shade. But this is pretty pigmented. So if I do end up applying quite a bit, now this is quite a bit of blush. You don't need so much. I'm going to blend it out. And I know now that I have applied quite a bit. So what will happen is I will end up blending and then it will, come right here and then go like everywhere basically. And it's just going to look like a clown face. Basically, a lot of blush may look like a clown face. Right now, if you see, you might feel like it's looking very good on camera, but in real life, I know this is a lot of blush to look with the naked eye. So what I will do is I will take this blush on the back of my hand like that. And what I will do is take it from the brush, remove the excess, and I will just stamp it on the highest points of my cheeks and first blend it out near my temples like that. And then whatever is left on the brush, I will get it on my cheeks because I want that lifted look. So I can focus the maximum amount of product. So now, as you can see, there's a very natural flush of color and it looks very, very pretty. So one more thing that I like to do is just take my damp blender under my eyes and blend out the edges of this blush so that it looks like a very natural color and I don't have that streak of blush going on and it looks like I have a blush from within very naturally. So this is the correct side and this is the mistake side. As you can see, it's a lot of blush, like I said, and this looks very natural and flattering. So that's what you want to do. Next is setting this beautiful base that you have applied. Now, setting is very important. If you don't set it right, your makeup will not look good. So this is a very crucial step when you are doing your makeup. Now, I have always suggested to use a loose powder whenever you're setting your makeup because that's the most natural, finely milled smoothing powder. If you end up using a compact powder, it's going to be more heavy and it's going to cake up and it's not going to look natural. So stop using your foundation powders to set your makeup. That's just not the right way. There's a right time to use a foundation powder that I will talk about in some other video how to use it. But in this video, I'm going to show you how you can set very naturally so that your makeup will last throughout the day. So first, I'm going to show you the mistake side. For setting powder, I am using my K Beauty's HD loose powder. There are a lot of loose powders which are amazing. The Huda Beauty one is absolutely beautiful, one of the best, but I wanted to show you an affordable option. The Givenchy one is also amazing, but those are very, very expensive. And the K Beauty compares to those. Trust me, this is very finely milled and very, very smooth on the skin. So what people used to do is either they take their sponge or they will take their brush and then they set their face. So I'm just going to take any brush. This is what I've seen people do. They take their brush, they dip it in the foundation, I mean in the loose powder, and then they go ahead and set it under their eyes without removing the creases that might have happened since you applied your concealer. You did a lot of other steps, and then you know go ahead and apply your powder without removing the creases. So I'm just taking quite a lot of powder and I'm just stamping it on my skin everywhere. You don't need to apply your foundation, I mean your loose powder, all over your face. There are certain areas where you need to apply it. So what they do is just take more powder if they feel something is looking oily, or you can see like the skin shiny, they will go ahead and set more. And some people also like to bake, so they do go ahead, take the powder and bake under the eyes and all of that. You don't need to do all of that. Already I feel like my makeup is looking so dry and crusty. This is not what you want to do. So on the right side, I'm going to show you how you will set your makeup. Firstly, you need to use a triangle puff like this one's from Pack, but you get a lot of these on Amazon. A lot of brands, Brosh makes them, all are good. You can take any of them and just invest in one triangle puff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dip this puff in the powder, and as you can see I have a lot of it. I'm just going to remove the excess amount of it, and I'm first going to set under my eyes. But before that, I am going to remove the creases by just using my damp sponge and just smoothing out the concealer under my eyes. And I'm going to look up and I'm going to press this into my skin. So I'm just going to very lightly bake so that I don't have any crease lines under my eyes. And I'm just going to apply that much amount, not too much. And then I'm going to take a little bit more, dab out the excess product, and just going to set around my mouth because that's where I have smile lines as well. And then a little bit on my forehead. I didn't go ahead and take more powder because I already had some in the puff. And whatever is there, I'm just going to use it around my face to set. And just very lightly on top of my blush and my cream contour. So you can see I have a little bit of shine going on, but I have set everything. It's not going to transfer or move. It's time to shape and fill the brows. Now, shaping and filling brows is also very personal. If you naturally have good brows, all you need to do is just brush them through and you're good to go. But if you have like sparse brows like me, where there are gaps and you want to fill them and shape them, you need to fill them. So I'm going to show you the wrong side first. Now, firstly, people go ahead and start without brushing their brows. So they don't exactly know what shape they want. And then it ends up looking too much boxy and just too dark and very stark on your face like a cartoon character. So that's something you need to avoid. So what they do is directly go ahead and, do like straight brush stroke. I mean, straight strokes like that. And, too much pressure ends up. Now I have a habit of brushing them every time I do my brows, but I'm just going to show you first. Like they'll go ahead and just, draw the shape and too much product everywhere. And already it's starting to look very, very dark. So this is not what you want. And they'll go ahead and fill in the gaps like that because they see a lot of gaps here and there. And then you end up applying a lot of product. And then finally, what they'll do is brush it, which is not going to do much. Once you brush it, you again see a lot of gaps. Then you again go ahead and fill it. And the process goes on and on. And then you end up getting thick brows like this, which looks very unnatural. There was a time and place for it. It's gone. Now everyone likes a natural brow look. So I'm going to show you the right side. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush my hair up so that I can see the line right here. I can see the shape right here. And that's where I'll go ahead and fill my brows. So first what I'll do is I'll just draw a very light line, like light strokes to give it a shape underneath. Just like that. And then I'll just draw hair strokes right at the front upwards, and then just from down I'm drawing some brush strokes, and then I'll go ahead and brush my hair through and spread the product that I've already applied like that, and it's already looking pretty full. All I need to do is shape it from top. So what I will do is just draw a thin line, very light thin line, and just shape them from the top. Not going too overboard, just filling them very naturally. Then of course you're going to set your brows. So I'm going to take my NYX Stick It Brow Mascara, and first I'm going to show you the wrong side. I'm just going to brush my hair up. That's what I have seen people do. They try to brush their hair up and they do this, which is not cool. And on the other side, I'm going to show you what I like to do. I'll first brush my hair up and then I'll go diagonally and shape my brows with this brow mascara so that they stay in place and maintain their shape. Now you can see my actual skin peeking through because that's what naturally brows look like. Whereas here you can't see any skin peeking through and it's like a stark line. So that's not what you want. Next for eyes, I am not going to show you any mistakes or anything in this particular video because I feel eyes need a separate video altogether because there are so many looks, so many different techniques when you apply eyeshadow. So I'm going to do a very, very simple natural look on my eyes. I'm just going to apply my bronzer all over my eyes, apply some mascara, and then we move on to the next steps. Now you can definitely keep your makeup as is without applying any powder products on top of it. But I like to apply powder products on top of my bronzer, my contour, my blush, so that it stays in place and lasts throughout the day. So it's locked in place basically. So first I'm going to apply a powder bronzer. So this one is from Daily Life Forever 52. This is a Flawless Fusion Bronzing Blusher in the shade BBR005. Now this is a perfect mix of warm and cool undertones. It's not too red and it's not too warm. It's right in the middle. So that's what you want to use to set your cream contour or cream bronzer that you have applied. So now I will show you the wrong side. So they end up taking like a very big fluffy brush like this, which is not wrong, but it can go everywhere. So they will load up their brush with this product. There's a lot of product and they'll go directly on top of their bronzers and end up applying quite a bit, which will look very heavy in the end and it will look like you've applied too much makeup. Okay, that's quite a bit. Like, it's not a very precise application. I'm getting it right here. I'm turning darker, which is not what you want. You want to keep the brightness at the right parts on your face so that it looks more like your skin. So what I like to do is I like to take this brush. This is the Pack 368 brush. Now this is an angled fluffy, a little bit smaller angled fluffy brush, which is perfect to apply your bronzer as well as your blush. So it is a multi-purpose brush. So I will just first wipe it off, whatever is there on the brush on my towel, and then I will take a little bit of this, okay, tap out the excess, and I will directly go where I had applied the bronzer and try to keep it in place by just stamping it in and not applying too much. And I will just go ahead and just set my forehead bronzer, forehead contour as well. So this will make sure that it does not rub off. Even if I, hug someone or something, it does not transfer on them. So this will make sure that your makeup is sealed. Next, we are going to apply blush. So for that, I'm using the Too Faced Cloud Crush Blurring Blush in the shade Velvet Crush. This is such a beautiful formula and such a beautiful shade, as you can see. So this is going to match perfectly with the cream blush that I had applied. It's not going to alter its shade. So make sure that when you're using your powder brush blush, you use the right shade on top of your cream blush. It's a tongue twister, sorry you guys. So I'm gonna take a fluffy big brush like this, which I've seen people do, and I'm gonna load my brush with this blush, and I'm gonna go directly on the apples of my cheeks and blend it up, which is again gonna make your blush look super heavy. Do you see that? I mean, my skin looks very smooth right now, but like I said, all the brightness under the eyes and right here, like there is no dimension on this side of the face. It just looks like I've applied too much makeup. I'm going to take the same brush that we used earlier. This is the PAC 368. I'm going to take the brush, tap out the excess, and now I'm just going to stamp it on my cheeks, and I'm going to start from the temples and get it ahead. Like right here, you want the least amount of product because you want to lift and snatch your features like that. And now my blush is also sealed and it looks much more natural. And then the final step is applying highlighter. Now, I cannot tell you how many times I've seen people with a streak of highlight. It is so not flattering. So for highlighter, I'm actually going to use my MAC's Mineralized Skin Finish Soft and Gentle Highlighter, one of my absolute favorite highlighters. This is the PAC 094 brush that I've been using for years now to apply highlighter. So they load their brush with the highlighter, don't even tap out the excess, and then they go directly on the skin. And already you can see that's a lot of highlighter, and I can literally see a streak and they don't even blend it out, and it just looks horrific. I'm just gonna take a little bit, tap out the excess, and on this side now I'm gonna focus it right here very lightly on the highest points of my cheeks and blend it out very nicely. And do you see now it looks like a glow from within, and you won't see the edges whatsoever. I'm just gonna blur out the edges with this brush, and I'm gonna keep it right here. I'm not gonna get it here. I'm gonna keep it right here so that when my head turns, you see the highlight just right here. Whereas here you can see the streak and the patchiness and the chunkiness of the highlight. That's not what you want. And the last step is setting spray. You want to seal this makeup in place, melt it into your skin, and make it look natural. So I am using the Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, my all-time favorite, as you can see. So on the wrong side, I'm going to show you how people apply it. They keep it very close to the face like that and spray it. So like there's a lot of setting spray at one area, and it can make your makeup look a little patchy right there, like just for demonstration purposes. And this will also end up adding too much hydration, which might end up melting your makeup. So you don't want that. You want to keep your setting spray at a good distance. Like you can see, like there's a good distance, and you want to very directionally apply your setting spray from top to bottom. And that's about it for complexion. I'm just going to complete my lips, and I'm going to show you one thing that I've seen people do, that is not apply lip liner and just go in with lipstick. So on one side, I'm not going to apply any lip liner, go in directly with the lipstick and show you. This one is Nutmeg Nude from KIRO. And the other side, I'm going to use my Fee Beauty lip liner in the shade Borderline. As you can see, this side of my lips look more contoured, fuller, and poutier, whereas this side looks flat. Also, a lip liner makes your lipstick last longer. As you can see, this side looks so much more heavier, and my skin looks more darker than I actually am. Whereas this side, everything is very natural, lifted, fresh, and youthful, which is much more flattering and prettier looking. So yeah, I hope you guys learned a lot from this video and you guys end up doing your makeup flawlessly and look absolutely beautiful. And that's about it. If you all did like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna go now and I'll see you all in my next video very soon. Until then, bye.